All right, so Karen, I have come over. I came over. I'd love to know. Can you tell me about what is Come Over October all about?
Well, first of all, you're invited to come over. Even more, it's a super simple idea. It's the idea that during the whole month of October, um, everybody who loves wine should just invite a friend, a
Mm,
colleague, a neighbor, a stranger, anyone to come over to share some wine because of wine's kind of ability to bring us all together.
yeah, I love that. I love that. It's like use wine as that reason to get together.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's as you can imagine, wine and hip hop. One of my favorite things, and I've found that it's just something that complements people so well. So for me, for doing a come over October celebration, I think it would be dope to do a wine and hip hop pairing.
Ooh,
We talk about what that exact pairing is about. I'll bring the wine, I'll bring the hip hop, you bring the wine, and then
that's a deal.
we figure it out that way. And that way we just talk about our choices in the wine.
Yeah.
You know,
You know what I always think, Jermaine, is it's pretty cool about wine that you could be with someone you don't know. You share some wine, you are now that person's friend,
yep,
right? We have
immediately.
all had that experience, and I don't think there's anything else in the world that does that.
It's true. It's
Music, maybe.
a shared sensory experience. For me, I found like I look at drinking a bottle of wine with someone and enjoying it with them. It's like you watch a movie with a friend, but you enjoy it. You can watch a movie by yourself, but enjoy it with a friend that much more.
Yeah.
It's having that shared experience is really cool. But like wine sits there and is such a big part of some of your fondest memories, or it can be, So this is dope, man. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more fond memories created around this.
Yeah. What was the wine that made you fall in love with the
Mm.
industry?
Wow. Okay. Fall in love with the industry. I would say that was is a bottle of 1998 Chevalier Laflave. It was at a BYOB tasting, and so at this point, I was working at Zacky's for a while. I started working there when I was 20 years old. So, of course, I wasn't able to drink until I got out of the warehouse. But I
Oh,
moved
I'm
out.
sure you didn't drink. I just
Well,
know you would never
and
have.
my job was in the warehouse, so I didn't get around that much. But I moved over to the auction department when I was 21, and I worked in the bidding department. So the night before every auction, we would be there until like 1 a.m. processing absentee bids. I come from the era of like the bids coming in via fax machine, so I'm dating myself a little bit, and we would have to transcribe all of those bids, put them into a computer, and print them out in the book. And so this went on for years until I elevated in my career, and this was probably around 2009 or so. And for a long time in the beginning of my wine career, I didn't really take wine that seriously. I took the wine business seriously, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wine personally. And I just didn't really get it at that point. But it was that moment I got invited to my first BYOB tasting. This was the first time I didn't have to stay in the office until midnight the night before an auction. I got to go out with the clients
Mm.
and everything, and showcase the bottles that would be sold at the auction the next day, and invite clients to bring their own. And a good friend of mine to this day, I won't say his name, but he's a good friend. He opened that bottle up, and that is why I love white burgundy so much today. I
Oh
just
my
It was
God.
just because I didn't even realize that wine could do that. It was
Yeah.
when I understood what complexity tasted like. That was that moment, and it developed a liking for like older wines. So when you taste a little bit of age on something, for me to this day, aged white wine is really some of my favorite style of wine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm the lost son of Burgundy
Oh my
now.
God.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
and you're lucky about that because, yeah, Burgundy is like, I don't know, it's like going back to the ancient mother
It's
of
true.
wine, right? The
Yeah.
whole concept of how much nature and a certain place matters, and the idea that you can take that into your body.
Yeah.
Really, I think that only, wine and really music are the two things that you kind of take in that super profound way.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
that's why you love them both so much.
Wine, I think that it gets lost on people so often how much wine is an art, and that's why I think that it's great to have conversations around wine. And for me, when I'm educating people about wine, I often don't just educate them about the way that it tastes, but the story around
So
wine overall just makes it art within itself. The simple fact that, like, if you purchased a painting for whatever millions of dollars, you can put it up on your wall, it'll be there forever. Millions of people can come in and out of your house every day, people will enjoy it, right? But wine is also an art. However, once it opens, only but so many people can enjoy it. It's fleeting, it will die out. So just that in itself is such heady art, on a whole different level. And
Totally.
I find that it's easier to impress people if you find where it is they fall in, what meet people where they are. That's
Yeah,
the main thing.
totally. I mean, and that's sort of our whole message about Come Over October is, the wine will do it, right? It will foster that kind of friendship, and it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter your age, your culture, your race, your whether you're a man or a woman. It's just about the togetherness of it. And I think not to get too crazy philosophical about it, but I think it's because wine comes in a bottle. So you're both drinking from the same bottle, and you're both drinking a time and a place, right? Like we're drinking this Chianti, right? And we're in New York City, but we're both taking this into us together, sitting here.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's pretty powerful.
It's true. And we're both drinking the exact same thing, but we could have two completely different perspectives on what we're tasting.
Yeah.
Which is also to me very interesting. But and we just look cool. Also, it's okay to look cool.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm not sure I need a mirror
Actually,
here.
you look very wasn't so demure. That's what they say nowadays.
I promise you, it's an act the whole way. Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
I think you look very cool. I mean, look, that's another aspect that I think can't be forgotten about. It is very cool, and that's like the fact that so often people think wine is uncool. Like how? What are you looking at?
Yeah. No. It's it's both really ancient and really modern at the same time, right? It in fact, it's anything you want it to be.
Yeah.
But its ability to kind of heal us, right? Make us be together with people who we might not otherwise be with. That's I love that about it. That's my thing.
Very true. No, It's been one of those things that has put me at home often when I'm like, one of the things I've dealt with in my career is like I'll go out and there'll be no one like me in the room. And I'm not even just talking about being a black man, but sometimes you might have another brother in the room that we ain't grow up in the same kind of neighborhood. But often wine, pretty much everywhere I go, wine is always what brings me back into that center and makes me feel completely within place. Every single time. I've been on trains in Geneva one time, and this guy overheard me talking about I was talking about like wine auction, and he heard me say the name Ikem, and he then like, hey, what are you doing? When we started talking, years later, this man would introduce me to Jermaine Jackson.
Wow.
After just like, and it was just an older, rich white guy. Like you would just never know who wine would, and it was because he overheard me talking about wine that immediately made us become friends and talk told him that I was named after Jermaine Jackson. He happened to know him, and that's how that worked.
Oh,
But yes, that's the world of wine.
that is
The
wonderful.
power of wine.
The power of wine. Yeah. Well, thank you, my
Well,
friend.
Thank you.